Alfa, CP Comboios de Portugal, procedente de Lisboa, Santa Apolónia e com destino a Braga, que deverá dar entrada na linha número 1. Circula com um atraso de 5 minutos. A sua hora prevista de chegada é às 16 horas e 15 minutos. Pedimos a vossa compreensão pelos incômodos causados. Dentro de minutos, dará entrada na linha número 1. O comboio.
Entremete do Darwin Nunes é o que abriu o marcador. Os adeptos acreditam. A luz pode morrer outra vez. E a luz e hoje quem vai gritar o golo. Se a bola entrar vão ser os adeptos. Eu depois vou acompanhar. Ai, ele vai atirar. Ele vai atirar. Ele vai atirar. Ele vai atirar.
Hi, everybody. Thank you for joining another edition of Benfica After 90. We keep doing musical chairs with the various people coming on. It's been a while since I've been with Luis, and he's been on shows. I've been on shows. We haven't been touching each other. I miss this guy. I miss this guy.
It's been a while, man. You know, it's like it hit me when he came on. And I saw your face. I was like, "Yeah, that's Mario, man. That's the start of the show. This is Mario, man. It's the main guy." You know, like.
I'm like,
I thought starstruck. You know, starstruck when he goes, "Oh."
I like being a guest once in a while and popping on and seeing what you guys are up to. but you know what? You know, we got a celebration today, which is a Benfica win. You know, there's the anniversary just passed of the No Name Boys, a little confusão that happened at the match in regards to it. So I think we'll touch on that. It's kind of a funny debate I've been seeing online. And I will say I've flopped around a bit on my opinion on the whole event. But yeah, before we kick it off, anything special, Luis? Everything's good? You know, just kick it right into the game.
It's all right, man. Like, you know, I got Nelson just chilling next to me, ready for the UFC night. He's shy. He No, nothing. And then man, we just watched the game, had a few beers, had some food. I mean, he's getting ready for an UFC night. I'm ready to go to bed. So yeah.
Nice.
Yeah,
that's good. That's good. Fun times, man. And there's some good fights lining up for tonight.
Look at this Zach bastard. Can we ban this guy? Can we ban this guy? Like, why is he calling me a homeless man? Shut up, man.
I love the audience laughter.
Yeah, we got an audience. It's like Friends, you know, when it's something that funny, Friends. You have the.
You got the
little clap, the little laugh. That's what we got.
Applause, you know.
Applause. That's it.
That's awesome. Yeah, no, it's kind of the thick of the season, well into the second half of the season with Benfica in a situation where, again, I don't want to say it's hopeless, but it's 3 points. We got the win, 57 points in the table. First place is 64. Doesn't seem that far away, but Porto still has to play their match, right? So, you know, we're only 4 off Sporting, which is actually within reach. If we beat them when we face Sporting, it's like, you know, the second place is in the tie. And realistically, if Porto slip up, it kind of feels a little close, but it's going to be extremely tough to actually pull any magical title win out of our asses. So you kind of just watch these matches for the sake of watching. You enjoy watching the team and things of sort, right?
You know, I said that today. Like, we were watching the game at one point, and I had the game obviously on that main TV. What did I have here? I had like some of the fights already for this YouTube shit thing. I don't know if you guys heard about it. It's not a big deal. It's just some YouTube boxing. And then I started like doing SBCs on FIFA. And at one point, like Portimonense scored. And I was like, oh, fuck. And I looked and I was like, oh, for fuck's sake. And then I was like, you know, it almost feels like we're not going to win it, are we? We're not going to win the league. So it almost feels like a background kind of game now. Because like as much as you want to do well, you just know like you're supposed to win these games, right? Realistically. But even if you win every single game, the chances of you like actually like doing well and getting second maybe It just doesn't sound good enough in your head, you know. I guess games against Sporting and Porto and maybe Braga and stuff, they get you glued because it's still like a big game. But these games, you sort of like, I mean, you're supposed to win, but like even if you win, like you're just doing your job really at this stage. You know, it's a bit weird. It's a different
Yeah.
feeling.
It truly is. And I guess the only thing that got me a little bit more inclined to be in tune with this match was that we're facing the Porto of the South, right? Porto Muniz.
Porto B, right?
Porto B, you know,
Yeah.
Porto B on the beach down south in Algarve, and these guys, you know, the affiliations of them are strong, and there's Sacanas, and they've gotten some points off us in the past, and you kind of just don't want them to get the best of us. And they got some good players. That Nakashima kid, the Japanese kid, is he's a decent kid, you know, not like a mega star of any kind, but really good in our liga, in my opinion. But I agree with Boris there, man. It's very, very whiny putas, man. I tell you, it's like it was a very again. It's as if you're facing a Porto B, man. They're fighting for the parent club up north, and it's annoying, and it's a little bit more heated.
Nelson's next to me. He's not like really into football.
Yeah.
And when he came over and said, "Who are we playing?" I was like, "Portimonense." I was like, "I would beat them." And I'm like, "Yeah, well, it's like Porto B." Like he's here, won't let me lie. That was my first thing I said. Like it's like playing Porto B because it is, and you can see like even like what's his fucking name, the coach.
Yeah,
it's almost like I don't want to shoot. I don't care if I shoot anybody, but like it's almost like he was told, "Hey, win me this game, and you know there might be a little bonus for you at the end." Because the guy he got upset again about a free kick that I don't think it's a free kick for Benfica either. I don't think it is. But the fact that he got upset,
the level
or
of
the
rage,
free kick,
of rage. Yeah,
one thing is you being upset. If he was upset about a goal, I'd understand it because that's like direct impact. You've conceded a goal, but getting that pissed off about a free kick they didn't even go into anything. Right? A guy was like out of this world pissed off, like somebody just kidnapped his daughter or something. Like, I'm like, yo, dude, like, you know, and he got sent off, and I was happy that he did, man, because like, and the fact like. I don't like Sport TV. I hate Sport TV. I love the fact that I get to watch that shit for free. I would never give them a cent. But like the fact that they like came out and said the players need to stop surrounding the ref when the ref makes a decision.
Yes, yeah.
I was like, fair. I give him that because it's true. It's like every time something happens, and Benfica does it sometimes. I think Benfica does it a little bit less than Porto, for example, but they still do it. And I'm sorry, if I was a referee, I'd start yellows, everybody. Like, if you're the captain, you can come here and talk to me. If you're not the captain, then stay in your position. Let's play the game.
Yeah, and good evening for everyone that's joined us. Portimão is the city they're in Algarve, Portimonense, and yeah, no, I agree with you, man. I think the Liga NOS is inflicted with an illness that allows players to rush refs to such an extreme without any punishment. Like if that was anywhere else, they would get an earful, you'd see more cards, but they do get allowed to do it a lot. They're almost encouraged to do it. It's kind of like if you want a decision your way, you have to harass the ref, which is just the wrong way about it, man. Let me throw up the 11 real quickly here. I'll just share my screen.
Yeah, and throw up the 11. I need to do a shout out as well after the 11.
Yeah, I'll just get this. Here is the. Should I do the video? I guess I should do the video. Let's do it a little bit.
Yeah.
Why not? Let's do the video. Let's do it proper. Let's do it proper. Come on. Let's go. All right, for today in Benfica, we had Odysseus. In the back, we had Grimaldo, Otamendi, Vertonghen, Grimaldo, Gilberto, Rafa, Everton on the wings, Tarat, Weigl in the middle, Chuck and Ramos up front. That was your starting 11 for this team this weekend, and here we go. All right, we got it up there on the screen. I started butchering the names for a second. I was like, what am I doing?
You said we had Odie, and I was like, and that was it.
That was it. I stopped. I was like, wait, what am I looking at here? I just got like semi-distracted for 2 seconds. I think I said Grimaldo twice, but, you know, he deserves a second shout out.
You know, he scored a goal today. So, you know, he did miss a couple of free kicks, but it's a bit frustrating for me because they were nice free kicks. And before we get straight into it, I want to give a shout out to Marcella. She's watching. She's trying to create an account, but she couldn't for some reason. So shout out to
Ooh.
Marcella and Mia, which is Tina's best friend.
Nice.
Yeah,
There we go. There we go.
big shout out to the ladies.
Did you say Tina? Tina?
No, Mia. This is Tino.
Tino.
man.
Oh, I thought you said Tina. I thought.
Yeah,
you...
fuck that. He's got a dick. Look.
Oh, he/him pronoun. Okay, good. I thought there was a switch. It's all good if you did a switcheroo, but nowadays you can do that.
Oh no, he identifies as a Hoover.
Hoover, okay. Yeah, exactly. I said Gorilla twice. I was completely just terrible today. Oh my god, I'm off my game. But yeah, here's the lineup. Let me scroll a little bit up so it's a little bit more centered. There we go. Okay, I don't think much me on. Perfect. We had a good game. I'm actually kind of. Are you surprised that Weigl got the MVP of the match on goal point?
On goal point, I'm not surprised.
Okay,
it's goal point.
That's true. He was good. He had a good game, but I didn't think he was MVP. But yeah, it's all good, man.
I think he was all right. I think Miguel put it perfectly when he said today was scary, and for me it was because even though realistically I'm not that interested, and that sounds weird saying that, but it is what it is, man. It's the league. Yeah. We're third place. We're 4 points from Sporting. Until the big games, I'm not that interested. But we are building on something. We beat Ajax, right? And then we look decent for the league. And then we come on and we concede against Portimonense, which we'll go there in a second. But I honestly, Tarap loses the ball, but I think there's a lot more to that play than Tarap losing the ball. Yeah. And then all of a sudden you think we felt like we were building on something. And then it's not there anymore. It's almost like we've forgotten about the last two games. But I'm happy that it obviously worked out in the end. Although there's a lot of negatives to go through, and yeah.
Yeah, it was one of these things where I felt early on, we applied ourselves. We were applying the pressure. We were doing the forward momentum. A lot of balls going in via crosses, down the middle, passing around the box. We weren't getting too much initially on target off the get-go, but it kind of felt like we're there, we're attacking. And we're just kind of around the area, getting the odd shot off, and it kind of felt like, okay, sooner or later, maybe we'll get something. It just felt like it was a more passive game. I was relaxed. Like I said, I wasn't overly freaking out. It was just more one of these things where I was into it. And then, Taarabt had that mistake of a pass. And I initially got angry. I'll be honest, man. Online, I was angry for two things. And maybe we'll kind of deviate a little bit to another event. But all of a sudden, you have this missed pass from Taarabt. And Taarabt has these notorious kind of he tries to put these more difficult passes through that when they go in, they're amazing. And he was having actually a really good game, in my opinion, at the time. And all it takes is that one bad pass. They break away, and there's Otamendi and Vertonghen pretty flat-footed. They just neither of them were really marking the guy properly, and they kind of he got away on them, man. He got away on them, and that's it, man. And one-on-one, and they get a goal, and you're like, shit, I can't believe that happened.
When you put it that way, right? If I'm guessing that everyone on a pod watched it.
Yeah.
When you put it that way, it doesn't even sound that bad. Taarabt misses a pass, and the guy gets one-on-one. But the fact that neither of them reacted, it's almost like, again, maybe it's me not knowing football. Maybe it's me being a donkey. But I look at it and I'm thinking, you had so much time to adapt. There's two of you versus one. Okay, one goes to the ball and the other one goes to the player, or vice, do whatever you want to do. But the fact that the guy it wasn't the fact that he scored. It was the way he scored. He got so much space.
They didn't close the space at all. They didn't move initially when the ball was lost. Then they didn't close up the space, and the guy wasn't threatened. He got a perfect one-on-one opportunity. If he didn't score that, it would have been fully on them to have not gotten that goal.
Boris said it, Lima said it. I think I'm with you guys. The first instinct is oh wow, Taarabt's fucked up again, and he did. You cannot be losing that ball there. Easy, done, dusted. You cannot be risking a pass like that. Luckily,
but it's going to happen. You're going to lose balls in the mix.
Exactly. And luckily, you have two center backs back, which is great because sometimes you might just have the one, right? And it might not be enough because then it's a true one-on-one. But you have two, and they just come back. They do the same run, but they don't close the gap. They don't go into a V shape. They don't do a U shape. They do an I shape because they just go down in a. It's you're pretty much just putting him on side. You're not defending. You're just making sure the guy's on side, basically.
Yeah.
Any ball there would have been dangerous. The ball, in my opinion, was perfect. Right
Yeah,
in the
amazing
middle.
pass. Amazing pass. Great
Amazing
pass.
ball. And then the composure from the guy not to panic. And then obviously, Odie, I mean, he's saved a few one-on-ones. You know, he could have done better because he is the kind of keeper that likes a good one-on-one. But I think I give the credit to Portimonense. Great pass and great finish. Although it's made a lot easier by Otamendi and Vertonghen. That to me, like two players with such experience. They've played for years upon years. They've played Champions League. They've played, international football, World Cups, European Cups. And you're making that sort of mistake. Morato makes that mistake. I'm pissed.
Yeah.
Ferro makes that mistake. I'm pissed. But we're talking about Otamendi and Vertonghen, man. They're slow, but they have so much experience. And they're making that sort of mistake. For me, that was just poor. I think both players just didn't believe in it. This is Portimonense. He's going to just try and lob the keeper from the halfway line or something.
Rafa or Grimaldo are going to come. One of them are going to come back.
Yeah.
If this is someone else's problem. No, it was really poor on their part. And initially, when I was watching, I was more like, "Come on, Tarat, I can't believe it was that pass." But it really doesn't fall on him. It's just at time I was agitated. And then that's like right before the 30th minute. That happens. I felt like we had this momentum building, but literally they scored on the 25th. We had been kind of pelting them with some shots around their box. One bad pass, two center backs falling asleep. We're down 1-0.
Yeah.
Play resumes. We're back at it. We're on them, high pressure, back taking shot after shot. We're getting in their space. And then, this event kind of happens where all of a sudden these flares start coming out. And for those who don't know, it's the 30th year anniversary of the No Name Boys.
Were the flares before the kid that was on the pitch?
We didn't talk about. Let's talk about the kid. Yeah, the kid.
Sorry. I didn't.
What happened to the kid? Actually,
I don't know.
It's something horrible happened. Yeah, it's a ball boy. Yeah, it's a ball boy.
It's a ball boy. But what happened? Like, did he just feel sick and jump onto the pitch? Like, what's happened?
I don't know what happened to him. I know there was I think Gilberto had an injury or something. Like light. Like it was a foul. He was down.
Right.
There was like a foul of some kind. Then, I'm not paying attention, to be honest. The next thing you know, I'm like, is this guy actually still down? I'm like, no, he's walking around. What's going on? And I realized, okay, someone on a stretcher. And only after the fact I see the image.
I honestly,
it's a ball boy. I don't know any of the details.
All I saw was, a person. I didn't know if it was a guy or a player or a referee, a human being, a person on the ground. Yeah. And then I heard, and the only time I actually started paying attention is I heard the Sport TV guy saying, "Oh, this is a serious. We might have a serious problem here." And I'm like, "Well, who's down?" And I knew it wasn't Benfica because I saw like a darkish sort of color. So I thought, okay, Portimonense, right? And then all of a sudden, I'm like, it's a kid. And I'm like, what do you mean, a kid from the crowd? And then there was a ball boy. But I don't know what happened. I'm guessing he's okay now. I don't know. But it was just, and that took good 5-6 minutes there. Just
here's the story. So the kid slipped and bopped his head on the ground, man.
The kid slipped as he was going to collect the ball and hit his head on the floor.
Yeah.
Or is that what it was?
Yeah, freak event. My little guy. I got a little guy.
Damn.
At school, he slipped. Tiniest little rock ever. Bopped him right in the head. Cut him right open. Bled everywhere. Had to get 4 staples in the head.
When was that?
That's last year. It was pretty.
I
think it's recent. Yeah, no, it was. But yeah, man, it was pretty scary. It's something, a freak event. Kid fell, got hurt. Hopefully he's okay. I could care less about affiliations of who he cheers for. Hopefully the kid's okay. So anyways, back to the game.
Back to what matters.
That happened. Miguel, also, you made a point that there was a chance right before Portimonense scored. Ramos had a good chance, which went wide. And we were having chances. That's the thing. I was seeing these opportunities. It felt like a freak event. That was the one opportunity I felt like Portimonense had so far in the game. We're 25 minutes in, and we pick right back out. We're on the. I'm like, you know what? We can do this, man. The way we got these guys pinned back, they're going to be even more difficult now because they're going to hold back even further. But we can break them down. And then 5 minutes later, that's when we get to this the situation. All this flares coming out, and again, to kind of repeat, it's a.
I love that picture, by the way.
I love it. It's just one of the. And this is funny because initially, at this point, I'm now livid. I am like, okay, we did a mistake. We're thrown out, did a bad pass. The center backs are sleeping. We're down a goal. We should be winning this match. We're not winning it. And now the game is completely stopped for a good 10 plus minutes. They're talking about potentially canceling the match, already saying, okay, we're going to take the players back in the tunnel. I'm like, this has just completely destroyed all of our momentum. I
agree.
Pissed.
Yeah.
I was pissed. Then finally, after 15 minutes, play resumes. Portimonense now had 15 minutes because they were pinned back like no tomorrow. They're now up 1-0, regroup, and they looked better now. Now when the play resumed, it took a while for us to find our flow.
Well, I there's a reason for that, bro, because I actually saw, who was it, Grimaldo, Everton, and a couple other players. Honestly, just like this. They were just standing still. And I even said to Nos, I was shouting at the TV, like, hey, move, man. Keep that, keep your body warm. Don't let yourself switch off.
Because they thought maybe, okay, this will take a couple minutes. It's just typical stoppage. But then it's like, oh, let's take a minute, 2 minutes, 3 minutes. It just kept going on.
They bloody they interrupted the game. They
actually turn off.
I thought it was gonna be suspended for a bit, man. I was like, fuck, they might suspend this.
And I saw a bunch of people going off online, yelling at each other about people who like the pyrotechnics, people who hate the pyrotechnics.
I say, I'm sorry, man.
I love the flares in the stands. Yeah. I like you make a wall of fire, cool. I know it's kind of offside, cool. And then I saw this photo making the rounds, which right when you said, I love this photo, that's my reaction. The Rui Costa photo, that photo there, I love. But here's the difference. I don't give a shit about AC Milan. I don't give a shit about Inter. I don't give a shit about that match. I don't care if that match got canceled. That's a cool photo.
Yeah.
I could care less if any of those teams, if both teams got a 20-point deduction. I could care less. Not my club, not my match. Cool photo. When it's my team on the pitch and we need to win and we're down a goal and it's just getting interrupted. I'm like, you could have, as a clack, and I get the celebration, and the idea was let's throw, 30 years, 30 flares, I think was the idea they had. Then, spread out 30 flares throughout the stands and light them all at once and make a wall of fire while the game goes on. It would set up an amazing image. We got all this momentum. We're attacking. And the fans are pushing, they'd be pushing the team on. That would be a pretty cool. We're down 1-0, and all of a sudden our team is going wild and bananas, right? So I think it could have. I don't know. I think it was a Sport TV commentator then really was losing his mind. He's saying, here's the cops. They're staring at the guy throwing a flare. They're not doing anything about it.
Yeah, I'll be honest with you, man. My opinion is if this happened every single game, I'd be like, yeah, crack down on them.
Yeah.
It's
not a regular occurrence either.
I'm going to try and be as, straightforward here. I don't want to take anybody's side because, as you guys may know, it doesn't really matter. I have a few friends, on the other side, on the Clark side. I don't want to attack them. I don't want to attack anybody here. All I'm trying to say is these guys were there in the bad times. These guys, traveled to Portimonense today. I don't know if you guys realize the weather was absolute crap.
Oh, it's raining. Piss pouring raining.
They're there.
Yeah.
And again, I'm not right. I'm not trying to be right here. I'm not saying things so I'm right. It's my opinion. My opinion is if this happened every game, yes, punish them. It's their birthday. They stick with us no matter what. Yeah. They're there in 2020. They're there in 2021. It's 2022 and they're there. We have bad times and stuff. Yes, they may be in the wrong sometimes, and maybe half the time they are in the wrong. And yes, you have to realize that in every group of people, there's always bad people, no matter how many people. It could be 10, it could be 10,000. There's always going to be bad people and good people, and that's just the way it's going to be. Does it happen often? Does it happen every game? No, it happened today for a reason. It was their birthday. Celebrate it. It's not a big deal. The media is always going to make it a big deal. Turkey's got it. Greece has got it. Italy's got it, like we just seen it. The best and big teams, the best and big leagues in the world have it. Apart from maybe the BPL, because most of the BPL is just barbecue. Like we saw the other day. But no disrespect. I think in terms of fans, in terms of atmosphere, Portugal is always going to have that. Turkey is massive for it. Greece, the chairman from one of the teams in Greece brought a fucking gun into the pitch.
That's a bit, yeah. But no, I get it. No, but here's the thing. Actually, here's the thing. That's exactly what he said. Just bring your family, things of sort.
Here's the thing.
Yeah, I actually say it as I click the comment. Partly, again, to me, when I go to the Stade Luge and I took my son, this is the first game I ever took him to, and he was very small. I like the no-named boys. I like the Diabs. I'm not going to buy tickets next to them with the 4-year-old at the time. This is years back. You know what I mean? I'm like, I know better. It's on me. But I also know there's other sections of the stadium I can sit at with the family. I still think, again, 30th year anniversary, so I'm going to cut him a little bit of slack because you don't see, like you said, every single weekend them throwing it on the pitch.
Yeah.
I just, he could have choreographed it a little bit different. Said, okay, this section we're going to do this. Everyone knows we're the clock. We're the ones buying the tickets anyways in this section. Everyone's well aware. And they kind of do the whole kind of show, and they could have done a cool display. But instead, it was a lot more criticism, and you had people. And the thing is, Benfica won. Like Benfica had lost. Imagine if Benfica lost that match. Like we started after that, and we weren't really finding our groove, and then it just progressively got worse. People would have been pretty ticked off. But anyways, I'm happy that it still turned out well because then, eventually the team found its footing. By the end of the first half, they started kind of waking up a little bit. And obviously we got well into extra time and Grimaldo got a goal.
Yeah.
Which was, and here's the thing, like I wanted more
That's
shots,
cool.
more shots. And he finally, he pelted one from outside the box. That's what you needed to do. Right. So it was amazing. It was well done. And, going to, you go into halftime, how you feeling? At that point, I'm feeling kind of like, we're on these guys again. I still felt like we're going to win this. I think the expectation is to win it. Right, buddy?
I think, my expectation was definitely to win. To be honest, even when we went down, for some reason, I thought, we can still turn this around. Like, it's 1-0. It wasn't like they were dominating the game. It was a mistake, and it's like anything in life, when you're playing a video game or you're watching a film, when something happens out of a mistake, you always think like, it wasn't like it was down. It wasn't like, it was different.
It's not that we were getting beat. We were beating them. It's a freak event.
Yeah, it's like I hate that. I use FIFA all the time, but like sometimes I can see the getting to play and I'm thinking, oh man, lose this game because he's like sort of putting me back. I can't do anything. But when you can see the goal to a corner or a mistake you've made, you feel pretty confident that you're going to turn it around and you're going to win that game still. And I felt that way even when we conceded. Half time, I honestly said to myself, okay, we just need to get Darwin on because at the end of the day, he's a top goal scorer. So we need to get him on and he's going to bring some confidence. Sporting winning a Roca, I mean, I would never expect them to lose, especially this week. Next week, after a Champions League against City, it'd be a different story. So we count on that weekend instead of this one. That's my opinion. But yeah, like answering your question, I felt completely confident that we were going to turn it around. I said it a couple of times to Nelson, on my left, and so be it. That's what happened. Again, did we deserve it? I think overall, there should only be a winner from that game, and that was us. Although, I mean, I can't take the credit away from Portimonense's goal. Like they made the most out of a mistake. How many times have you seen Benfica make a mistake in the Liga NOS and not pay for it? So many times. And we always say we can't make these sort of mistakes in the Champions League. Well, today you made that sort of mistake in the Liga NOS and you paid for it.
Yeah, and I think most teams would make you pay for it. One comment Miguel made, which I thought was kind of maybe laugh a little bit. He's actually spot on. When you think of Grimaldo's goals, the guy does he's got some amazing free kicks here and there. He doesn't always score the free kicks, but when he does, they're beautiful curlers, and they're mostly bombs from outside the box. Now, again, he's a fullback, so usually when he's getting the ball, he's outside the box. Everyone's pushed in. He's shooting these rockets in, but that's something the club sometimes feels like they're lacking. These, outside the box rockets. Throw a few bombers in there. You know what I mean?
I'll be honest with you, man. I was very disappointed, and this, I mean, it just shows how much confidence I have in the guy. That, especially the first one, didn't even hit the target. I mean, I guess it's one of those free kicks that if it hits the target, it's in, because the way it was placed, that if that hits the target, you gotta have to be a world-class goalkeeper and have a great positioning going into the free kick to be able to save it. So, in a way, like, I get it. But I was surprised that he didn't. That first free kick, I thought that's a goal. Even though I shut on the TV 3 or 4 times. Yeah, it's not. He's not going to get it in. He's not going to get in. Inside, you think, like, he's going to put that top corner, man. Like, it is.
Yeah, you're hoping.
But he didn't. He didn't.
Yeah.
And, I mean, like Miguel said, he barely ever scores bad goals. I don't remember a tap in from Grimaldo. He might have had a couple. I don't want to say no, but I don't remember a tap in from Grimaldo.
Like, if you ever did like a montage reel of all of Grimaldo's goals, it'd be a pretty nice reel.
Yeah.
Other guys, other guys score a shitload more goals, but it can be a couple beautiful goals.
Oh, yeah,
and the ugly ones, right?
Well, you're supposed to. If you're a striker, you're supposed to find yourself in those areas to score a goal
Yeah,
because your
it
job
doesn't matter.
is to score a
Gotta get
goal.
in, yeah.
When you're a left back, your score is you're supposed to stop the goals, not score them. So when you
Yeah.
score, you're likely to score screamers.
Exactly. And, getting to your point, when you're a striker, you're supposed to score goals, and here comes Ramos. Beginning of the second half, we
Oh,
get a
man, I
goal,
love
2-1,
that.
man. I love that play itself was such a hustle across with the team, the way everything was, the way the ball, the build-up play, the passing, when it got crossed in, it just was such a great play, such a great little tap in. I think that was, talking about tap in, you can have a beautiful tap in, especially with the whole play, when how everything moves. So I like that. First half, just as a quick recap, we had majority of ball possession, 64 to 36, 11 shots there, 3. Second half, it was more, almost 50-50 ball possession. We only had 5 shots from there, 3 shots. I think because we got the lead early on into the second half, I felt like after a little bit, especially after all those substitutions kicked in into kind of 70th minute between both sides, it just felt like the pace of the game just died off.
Yeah.
It became a very, again, it's terrible for me to say this. We're not winning the league. I'm hoping we're at least going to take second place from Sporting, so we get the direct route to Champions League. But I kind of started it's just the excitement level went down. There was a comment Miguel made, and it kind of, supposedly Darwin didn't play because he had a flu this week, so they rested him. So hopefully he's better for midweek. But then Ramsh at one point, I think it was 70th minute or whatever time it was, he looked like gassed, completely gassed. I just hope that Otamendi, Vertonghen being flat-footed was them being lazy and lackadaisy, not that they're actually, running empty that quickly into a match. It did kind of feel like some of the guys were, I don't know if it was fatigue, but it did feel a little bit of fatigue. I kind of look at the upcoming matches and I kind of go, okay, well, at least we got another week, get a breather. We're going to go back home. Vizela should be hopefully an easier match, right? And then we got Ajax then right afterwards, right? We got to go to Holland. So I really hope that these guys, I don't know, not say you take it easy in training, but you kind of make sure you get the wins, get the 3 points, and come on strong, right? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think you brought up a good point.
I love this kit. I like the cross. It's so sick. I do love it.
Sorry. I remember when that was only a concept.
Yeah.
With a cross. And I was like, I hope that is the one. I really hope.
I wish they did more the third kits, funky ideas like this.
Yeah, I think I've always said this. I think we all said this. The first kit, make it red. Second kit, make it white and red. Maybe a little bit of funkiness, but not too much. Play around with it, but keep that white and red. And then a third one, go fucking crazy. I don't care if you give me a fucking purple one. I don't care. Go crazy with it. It's the third kit. I'm gonna wear it once, twice, if that. I don't care.
It's a gimmicky kind of thing. I don't take it.
And every now and then make that third kit pink so ladies can have a nice one for them.
Yeah.
But yeah, going back to what you said, the game sort of slowed down a lot. But then I don't blame just Benfica for that. I blame Portimonense because they were, in my opinion at least, they looked a bit beat. At least for the last, they didn't have a coach or a manager, whatever you want to call it, shouting out what they're supposed to be doing. And it looked a bit just out of breath, a bit they just didn't believe they were going to win it. And again, I'm not a big fan of sitting down on a result. But, if it was next week, I'd be more understandable. This week, I think just put it all out. And to answer Miguel, he said, who in our team has a Kenyan for a foot that we can say strikes fear in our position? If I only see 2 players that can possibly do that. I see Darwin Núñez, because I'm pretty sure that any team that plays Benfica will study Darwin Núñez first. And then maybe Rafa. But the thing is, Rafa is so inconsistent that he can
always hot cold.
He can have a hell of a game where you think this is the Rafa. And this is why I'm sorry, but I hate players who are inconsistent. In a way, I'd rather a player that is inconsistently bad, than
so what you got.
Because just don't play him. You
can replace.
Don't play him.
I know exactly what you mean because Rafa, you kind of go, sometimes you get angry. I don't want to play Rafa anymore. But then you have 3 back-to-back games where it's pure MVP level quality, top player that's enjoying the right profs, and then he goes back to have a couple of games that are just easily forgettable.
when somebody's inconsistently bad, you don't expect that much from them. Like Everton, right? I'll give a good example here. Everton's been that kind of guy that, you know, every now and then shows up, but realistically, you don't expect that much from Everton, apart from maybe, just maybe, a finesse shot from outside the box. Maybe, you know? But you don't expect Everton to pick up the ball like Rafa does and run that whole entire halfway line, you know, and beat everybody, not with skill, not with dribble, but just with pace. But then he'll get in front of goal and he'll just like miss it. You know, it's just a story of his life. That's the story of Rafa's life. And I've heard rumors that Rafa might be on his way out when the season ends. Darwin might be on his way out. Grimaldo might be on his way out. And people go, oh, you know, I mean, apart from Darwin, I'm okay with these people leaving because at the end of the day, like, as a Benfica, that's probably what we need, is a little refreshment, because these people, like Grimaldo is a great left back, but how many times have we like, oh, fuck's sake, Grimaldo, like, what have you done there? Rafa, great player, but how many times have we sat there and go, oh, Rafa, what are you doing, bro? Like Salvio, do you guys remember Salvio? He used to always do too much with the ball. You ask him to pass, he would shoot. You ask him to shoot, he would pass. And now, do we miss him? Oh, bottom line, we don't really miss him. You don't want to hear every game.
No,
I miss Jonas more than Salvio.
Yeah, there's
I miss Cardoso more than Salvio.
Oh,
you know?
yeah.
Gaitan even. You know,
Yeah.
like
there's players that made a bigger material impact. I saw the comment that Boris did about Bruno Lage. I saw that rumor. That's an interesting rumor. Interesting in the sense that, you know, maybe we get a decent paycheck, I hope, for Rafa. Wolves doesn't strike me as a bigger spend. There was also a comment from a Benfica fan on this one, which was the idea of him going to potentially Roma, right? So that's kind of the, I suppose he is a free agent. I don't know. I saw something where there was like some talks between Benfica and Roma. I really don't understand what talks there are, to be honest. I think the guy's a free agent. I just don't.
Yeah.
I don't even know if we get anything. Now, Mourinho obviously knows our Liga. He knows, Sevilla is a player as a keeper that has shown potential, but he's young, inexperienced, needs more playing time, and he's bounced around. And it doesn't feel like it's ever going to be here. And it seems like I highly doubt he's going to renew. So it is what it is. He's going to be gone. But I do kind of worry that you've heard stories about us getting rid of Odie potentially, that maybe it's time for us to move on. Helton late isn't really the right thing. So I do kind of feel we're going to enter another kind of musical chairs with the goalkeeping side. It's, I always like having your number one and your number two. I really don't feel we have a really great keeper. Odie's good, but not the greatest. He seems like he's getting better, but still, I just don't think he's the right guy. And really, our backups aren't either. So, it's sometimes, when we lose a keeper, it's nice to kind of have, I like the keeper on the bench. Let's give him a go. Let's sign another guy and let's see who wins out in net. It just feels like we got to fill in both the backup keeper and the main keeper position, right? So it's I don't know, man. It's tough. It's tough.
I think, like, either way, like, even if we were to keep, I mean, I love Sevilla. Like, I love him. I just don't think he's a goalkeeper for Benfica. Like, this is not a goalkeeper that hasn't had any chances. Like, yes, we burnt him a little bit, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Put him on against Man
United. Yeah, back when he
that.
first showed
I get
up,
that.
yeah.
But I'm a guy, you forget, I'm not forgetting. I'm not saying you're forgetting it, but I watch a lot of B Team.
Yeah.
Especially now with the BTV and stuff like that. Sometimes I wake up and I'm like, oh, B Team is on. And he makes mistakes. Granted, sometimes he makes some world-class saves, but you got to be there to make those world-class saves. And my opinion is, anybody that you put in goal will eventually do a world-class save. It's whether you let those little shitty ones in. And he's let some completely rollers in. Like, you think, what are you doing? What are you thinking? And I honestly, as much as I don't want to say this, because I know people are going to hate me for it, I don't think it was the answer. Even if Odie left, like, say, tomorrow, right? I don't think Helton or Svilar were going to be the answer. I think, it's sad to say, because in a club that made so many goalkeepers, like Oblak, Ederson, we didn't make him, but we had Julio Cesar in goal as well. We had such good goalkeepers that I think right now we're lacking. That's a position we're lacking. And we're going to have to buy. I'm sorry. I think it's one of those positions that you're going to have to spend some money. And apparently we showed interest in this Ajax goalkeeper. Not sure who he is. I don't know if it's true. Might be just a media thing.
Yeah.
But I don't think. I honestly don't think. I was going to say easy-ish. I honestly don't think Svilar would be an option. And Cardoso, yeah, man, I'll take Cardoso back,
I love
even
Cardoso.
just for a couple, even just for a year or two.
Just for a cameo, man. I love, yeah. It's memory lane's always fun. But looking into the future, I agree. Villar isn't. He could be in the future. I think keepers are a thing that with age they get a lot better. There are the odd young phenoms. Oblak, Ederson. There's not many of those guys. It's very rare to actually find young top goalkeepers. Like, it is an experience thing, right? It isn't like a pace. You don't need pace. You don't need to be running around. It's not a young man's sport. It's actually more of a wisdom, knowing with the time, knowing more about the tactics, and just more experience on a pitch. And maybe in 3 years, 4 years time, Villar will be like a really good keeper. But it's just, I don't think we have the patience to continue to develop him. I don't think he'll start at Roma either. I think he'll probably be riding the bench. And I wish him luck, and I'll leave it at that, right? Like, I got no ill feeling towards him if he's gone. There's just an evasion. It's just evasion. It's just flowing. I love it.
What are you saying? What are you saying? Oh, okay. Tell him to bring some more. Okay. Anyway, carry on. Do you want to say hi?
I love that. I love that. Nothing.
He's got a haircut. He's got a haircut.
I love it. I actually believe it. I need a haircut. Look how this is way too much for me.
You need a haircut. Go fuck yourself.
No, I'm telling you, it's too long. It's getting bushy. It's growing too much. I gotta trim it all down. I gotta trim it all down. All right, man. That's hilarious, man. All right, want to get to the Chorizo match? Play the match. Let's get that going.
Hey, Mario, do you want one of these, mate, just in case?
Okay, put the pick. Just put the pick in there. Just. I love it. All right, Chorizo match. Here we go.
Go on, let's go.
All right, guys. The deal. Chorizo match, play the match, all the fun stuff here. If you guys have any comments on that side, feel free to throw it in there, or we'll share it. But for myself, I guess I could go first real quickly just to get it out of the way. Yeah. My Chorizo is going to go to Otamendi, and really, I think they had some recoveries. Vertonghen and both Otamendi had several good opportunities throughout the match, I thought. It's just that play is just very amateur hour, and I personally felt Otamendi was the closer of the two. Like, he was the one that's where the ball came kind of from the center leftish kind of direction in the middle. I don't know. I'll blame him for it. I'm talking equally take some blame on that, but it put us in a dicey position unnecessarily, and thank God we came back from it. The moment of the match was the Rams goal. Not because it's a crazy, amazing goal. It's just a tap in. It's the play that kind of built up from the team from outside the box, the way they kind of just hustle through it and power through to kind of continue building off that comeback. And then I'm going to say then the other one, I'm going to give it to – actually, I'll give the player to Ramsh also, because to me, Ramsh today, there's been some games that he's not been good. Gonzalo.
Gonzalo, sorry.
Yeah. No, I'm gonna give it to him because he there's been games where he has been the greatest. Today, not only was it a tap in, he was hustling to the mid at one point. In the second half, there was a point where, we kind of weren't finding our footing. He started kind of coming back, grabbing the ball, collecting. He's a forward. He was also kind of playing like that secondary striker role with Chuck, where he's kind of floating around, and you saw him to the left, to the right. He was just hustling all over the pitch today. He was gassed out by the end for the right reason. I do kind of worry about maybe his stamina, but I would go with him. And then before you kind of jump in, I'll get Miguel's comment here. He said Chorizo was Rafa.
Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, actually, that's not a bad show for Rafa. Rafa had a pretty rough playing a match to that. Even with the mistake, he had a lot of great passes. He had great passes. I think so. We did lose that. But yeah, buddy, what would you say your play, your
I'm
Shadis?
gonna I'm gonna go straight for my Chorizo, and people are gonna laugh at me a little bit. I'm gonna give it to Gilberto just because he's been so solid the last two games. I was expecting a little more creativity from him. I think defensively it wasn't too bad. I'm just so I just expect him to be. I think I expected too much. I think it was one of those where like he's been so solid. You know, I think it goes back to I rather have a player that is consistently shit than having somebody that sometimes brings amazing football. Sometimes he forgets the football at home. Today, defensively, it was all right. I think attacking, we could have seen a bit more from him. My player of the match, and this is why I wanted to bring Miguel up, is because it's Tarabt, man. Like he made a big mistake. He did.
Yeah,
But again, maybe I'm a little bit biased because I love the guy. I've always loved him. But I think like 2 months ago, everybody wanted Tarabt off the club. They're
yeah.
like, it's time for him to go and stuff like that. And now he's starting. And every time I see I'm sorry, but I'm a little kid. When I see Ronaldo, I see United because even though Ronaldo's been playing absolutely fucking disgustingly bad, I still watch United because those sort of players can bring some magic. You know, in at City, realistically, if Manchester United is playing against Aston Villa, for example, and Manchester City is playing against
Southampton.
Southampton, I will watch United, even though I know that the City game might be more interesting because you got the likes of Bernardo, the likes of Cancelo and stuff. I just know that there'll be more magic. If Ronaldo turns up to that game, there'll be more magic in that game.
And
And that,
today he had a lot of like really good flicks, just really good
yeah,
plays.
it
It
just
was very
brings that.
silky, very silky. Yeah,
I fell in love with football, obviously through Nuno Gomes, through Benfica, but Ronaldinho was the guy that
oh
really
man, I
made
love
me
that guy.
fall in love, right? And it was not so much because he scored the goals. It wasn't so much because
It was
his team
the
was winning. It
spontaneous
was
kind of movements, the unpredictability,
it was the it was the it
the
was
fun, the
someone
fun.
exactly. It was someone just having fun. The same way I have fun when I play football with my friends. The same way you've had fun when you play football. The same way we all have fun when we just go down to the park with some friends and we just have some fun. Ronaldinho did that at a professional level. And I think that up in a way still does that. And yes, today I wouldn't blame him, but I understand if somebody blames him for the goal. I
Yeah,
understand it
yeah,
because at the end of the day, he gave the ball away. I don't blame him because there's still two defenders that need to do their job, and they didn't. But even if you're giving him that blame, he still set up a goal for Grimaldo,
yeah.
and he was
He was part of that play with Amsh. He was what I think
Miguel
he was.
said it.
Yeah,
He was the creativity. He
yeah.
brought this. He brings this sort of sparkle to the midfield. When you go, Tarab's got a ball. What is he going to do with it? If Vigo has the ball, I'm not going to be like this. What is he going to do with it? If João Mario has the ball, I'm not going to be like, oh, hey, what's coming? But when Tarab has the ball, I'm like, he might dribble past three players here. Like that was a moment where he dribbled past three players, and unfortunately tried to go past the fourth, and he fucked it. He might have passed. If he passed that ball, that would have been it. That would have been he dribbled past three players, but he tried to go one more, and that's where he lacks now. Because I think just like me, just like you, I don't agree with myself when I look at myself and think I'm 31. I don't think I'm 31. You put me, fuck that. I'm not 31. I can still dribble past 10 players. I'm gonna try, and then you get a wake up call and think, fuck, I can't even move my legs.
My
So,
back.
Man of the match, Tarabt. Choris for me, Gilbert, because I think he could have offered more. And the play of the match, he gave it to the Ramos goal. I'm gonna give it to the Grimaldo goal, just because again,
Oh,
he
that's an
goes
awesome
to
goal.
what I'm saying. Tarabt builds from pretty much nothing, if you go back to it.
Yeah.
And then he puts the ball in the box. Like, did he know where he was going to cross that ball? No, he didn't pass that ball to Grimaldo. He put it in the box. He put it in the danger area. That's it. That's all it takes. Put the ball in the danger area.
To me, what makes Tarap look better today and recently, and it's been the last few games lately, just very, very recently, I feel these guys are finally clicking and moving in the direction where their colleagues think they're going to be. And what I mean by that is Tarap does a flick one way that you don't expect him to flick to it, and you have all of a sudden Rafa making that run, or you have Gilberto making that run, or you have Ramos making that run. I find lately they're a little bit more in sync than they were, let's say, 2 months ago. Last two matches, day and night difference. Now again, against weaker sides, clearly. But I just feel like they're a little bit more in sync if they can keep building some chemistry, because that's what this team was lacking. The talent's there. That's how players like that work, man. Ronaldo, same thing, man. Ronaldo is struggling horribly because there's zero chemistry at United. Like these guys don't play well. He's a game changer. He can do something pretty, but if the chemistry gets there, oh my gosh, these guys start kind of collaborating more, working together. This one is kind of neat. I want to get your take on this. I actually snapped when I saw that foul and I only saw a yellow. I'm like, what are you talking? The guy just broke out, pretty much one-on-one, outside the box, slide tackle, out. But then, so I'm swearing. I'm like, how is that not a red? This is BS. I'm losing my mind. I see the highlight. I think the Portuguese guy got the ball. I don't know. I've re-looked at it again. Was it a foul? You think it's a foul or no? Because to me, if it's a foul, if it's a legit foul, I think it's a red. I started second guessing myself when I saw the red.
You mean the red card?
That didn't happen. Basically, the when Chuck broke away, through ball, and he slide tackles him.
Oh no, I think it's a foul. I think it's definitely a foul.
It was a foul.
He touches the ball, but you can't just. All right, I'll punch somebody in the face, and because I got my foot on the ball, it's not a foul.
So
that's the ball, but he also swipes the player.
Yeah, so that's your take. Is he got the ball, but because the aggressiveness of the play, he took down the player. You foul the guy, you take a yellow. It's not a red in that sense. I can agree with that. Okay, because that's what when I first thought he just took out the guy with the ball on a breakaway. That's a red. But then when I saw the highlight and I saw him get the ball, I'm like, I don't know. Okay, it makes sense. I agree with that, man. Outside of that, I think it was not the greatest match. It was just an entertaining match to watch. A little bit of drama. Does Met look overweight? Poor guy. Quit the thing.
No, he does. I mean, I never liked Mate, and I don't like him. I'm sorry. I just don't think he's a player. You look at Benfica today, and you look at Benfica 4 years ago. Players like Mate would never make it at Benfica, man.
Especially in that position. We have been spoiled in the defensive mid.
They wouldn't even be in a bench. You'd have Phaser on a bench. Do you know what I mean? You'd have Phaser on a bench with Florentino. Like, you're telling me, okay, and this is why this guy comes in. You're telling me that Mate gets to sit there, but Tino doesn't.
Yeah, it's not right. It doesn't feel right. It's messed up.
I don't understand. Some politics in this club are not right. So we're spending money and bringing this Mate guy because his wages are probably higher than Tino's, right? But Tino doesn't get to sit there. Even Samaris, Miguel, right on. Even Samaris, bro. Matic, if you go back a few more years, you have Matic, you have Samaris, you have Phaser, you have I just mentioned his name. I forgot his name now. Tino. Even Jetson, he's not his position. It's not his position. I get it. He's more of a box to box sort of even Jetson. I'd rather have Jetson there. I don't get how Mate, if you're watching, bro, no offense, but I don't see him being Benfica quality.
Yeah.
I think, I've always said one thing. If you ever look at your team, right, and this is I want you guys to, let this sink in. If you ever look at your team, whether it's Benfica, whether it's Sporting, whether it's Porto, whether it's Man United, whatever, whether it's Besiktas, whatever. If you ever look at a team and you are just a normal person that goes to work every morning, and plays football on the weekends when he has a chance, and you ever feel, not that you're right, but if you ever feel that you might have a chance to play in that team, then something is wrong. I'm sorry, but you should always look at a team and think there is no way that I could ever make it in this team because these guys are professional football players. I'm not saying I would. I'm saying even if I have that feeling in my head, something is already wrong because I honestly don't think André Almeida, for example, can play better football than me.
Yeah. Well,
he trains every day. He trains every day.
I think to your comment on Tino, it's a thing where I don't think Tino right now is the greatest defensive mid for Benfica. It's when I look at Mate and I look at Tino, which is very young, raw talent, could potentially be a lot greater, and I look at Mate, which he is 20. How old is he? He's 27, turning 28 this month. He's turning 28 in a couple weeks, so parabéns. But at the same time, parabéns, mate. There we go. Caralho.
It's all love, bro.
All love. We love you. No, but the thing is, at 28, you just kind of go, is he going to get faster? No. Is he maybe he'll get a little bit more used to the team. I do agree with this comment from Boris that they're starting to kind of understand the system better for the manager and kind of what he's trying to do. But at the same time, I just don't think there's gonna be like a drastic elevation of his quality. Whereas Tinu, if you had Mate and he was on the team and you had Tinu instead, and he's getting the odd minutes here and there, you kind of go, man, if there's moments of flashes of Tinu that you go, this guy, once he has his shit figured out, because again, with more experience, the defensive mid gets better. I just kind of feel if you have to have one or the other, I'd rather have Florentino. I just don't. I don't kind of agree with that move with the club, but it is what it is. I think it's. I don't know what the salary is at. I hear it's a decent salary. It's a cheap signing, but in terms of transfer fee, but the salary I hear is half decent probably. Good for him, man. Go buy yourself something nice for your birthday, man. You deserve it. Hey, when you hustle a contract like that, he did something right.
Right. His agent did it, man.
Yeah, his agent. Hey, his agent, Mate's agent. Go buy yourself something nice for Mate's birthday. All right, guys. It was fun. Next time, Friday.
Yeah. I don't think I'll be watching that one. I think I'm pretty sure I'm working.
That's the challenge. Lately, it's been bad timing. Work life's been chaotic for myself. Thank God for Joe.
We're playing Vizela at home.
The Titans of Portugal, man. Portugal.
The 15th.
14th.
Actually,
now.
sorry, 14th.
Because Aroca couldn't do it, man.
Yeah.
Goddamn bastards. But yeah, you know what? It's again that awkward time of the year where it just does not feel as sexy and as exciting and this and that. You know what I mean? Like, it's I don't know. I just I'm gonna watch if I can watch. If I don't watch, I know Joel will probably watch, and we'll get someone in there. Maybe get Ethan. Jake wanted to come on. He couldn't come on today. He was trying to get it. We got lots of guys that could come on.
I think I don't want to be lied to you. I think on Saturday I don't start until 5. I think I'm doing like a 5 close. Yeah. So if I get to and I think on Friday I finish at 8. So if I can come home, watch the second half, and then watch the highlights of the first half, or something like that, then I potentially can do something Friday night.
Yeah, that would be.
So yeah.
That'd be good. Yeah, if we don't get a show, like it depends. Like if I end up not watching, you're busy, and the other guys just can't do it. We'll put something together, right? We'll get something to kind of go here. Let's see anything else. And after Ajax, I kind of saw the one comment about rest the whole team. I kind of agree. João Mario seems like a game for João Mario since he has lost his place, and if he's not going to be, it kind of doesn't seem to fit this kind of system. We're playing with 2 forwards, 2 strikers. So it doesn't seem like João Mario's the right fit personally. And I just kind of we'll see. Maybe Ishgaj he'll play amazing against Vizela, but I do agree. Rest some guys, and we'll see how things are going. Any other thoughts before we call it a night? I know it was the thunderous match against Portimonense, but anything else, buddy, before we call it?
Nothing much, mate. It is what it is. We're third place. Sporting did their job. See what Porto does, and good luck for the Portuguese teams in the Champions League.
Yeah. Last
like City.
Yeah, like City. I hope. Yeah. What's the story? I hear Nelson Semedo is out for Portugal. I hear Diaz is out for Portugal. I hear Renato is out for Portugal.
We're fucked.
I hear there's another guy that's out. I forget what it is. I think we're missing 4 or 5 starters for the Seleção.
We're missing
Diaz.
We're missing Diaz. We're missing Semedo, Renato, and
there's another guy. It's on the internet. It's on the internet somewhere.
Hold on, I can get it.
It's on the line. If I go on the line and I check did I hit a like? I don't know if I got angry when I saw the tweet. So I don't think I liked the tweet. That's the challenge. I've been.
No. I know you have.
Someone had it on there.
Pep is out as well.
No, I thought they're dependent on Pep. Or is Pep? Oh yeah, Pep's out. Is he out?
I think it's Pep as well. Yeah. I don't know. João Cancelo? Nah, João Cancelo's in. Is Cancelo out as well? Fucking hell, dude. Like, we don't have Cancelo, we don't have Renato, we don't have Smith.
Yeah.
You might as well just give it the fucking win. You know what? You guys go, man.
Yeah, but it's again,
I'll be honest with you. Qatar's shit anyway. Fuck them.
Unless we qualify, the best World Cup ever.
If we qualify, I'll be happy because we've qualified. But if we don't, I'm like, you know what? Fuck you. I don't want to go to Qatar anyway, man. Like, you know what? Like, fuck that. I'm sorry. No offense. But like, that is the shittiest. That is the money World Cup.
That is the stadiums that were built by slave labor. Like, it is modern slave labor, which is horrific.
What's his name? The French Eric Cantona. came
Yeah.
out like a week ago saying like, I thought football was like a sport where everybody could have a chance. So many people died in Qatar, yet we're celebrating a World Cup in Qatar. Like, so many people died building
Oh,
those
it's
stadiums, man.
nuts.
It's
And
madness.
it's not even the it's not even the dying. It's the process, man. They get guys from Bangladesh or guys from Pakistan, guys that from India that are less fortunate, that have no money, and they promise them
Shit,
cash.
man. It's
Then they take their passports
bollocks.
and they wouldn't let them leave. So I think it's dirty ball. I think it's interesting though because not to get into the political shit going on with Russia and Ukraine too much. I know we can get down a rabbit hole there. I think it's quite
Qatar.
yeah.
Qatar. I love Eric.
Yeah,
Qatar's
like,
beautiful.
I'll take that. Hey, if we win it, Eric, I love Qatar. I'll say that much, man. I tell
Oh,
you,
mate.
they died for a cause that was
If we
actually
win
tough.
it,
Like, that's-
if we got there and win it, I'll travel to Qatar the next year. Just
yeah.
just because it's so beautiful.
Yeah,
Anyway.
but yeah, no, we can't go. But no, it's kind of interesting, that how like football never. It says like anything goes. It doesn't matter. Like when he had Frank Ribery with all the little children, and him doing the hanky panky with the little kids, he still got to play. It seems like no matter what ill happens, these guys are immune. The clubs are immune. I don't know. I felt like lately it's kind of changing a bit, but this whole Russia-Ukraine thing, them banning them from like the World Cup from UEFA, they took Spartak Moscow. Rui Vitória did all this legwork to get them to advance. They fire him, and as punishment, UEFA bans all of Russia for firing Rui Vitória. Tama, that's what happens. You fire Rui Vitória. That's how it's to Spartak Moscow. You go back to in Russia. UEFA ban you.
Damn right, man.
So
Again, I don't want to get into politics, but
no, but I, that could be to me. It does set a funny
Canada
precedent. Though.
Portugal final, brother.
Oh,
if that
can I-
happens, I'll suck your dick.
Oh,
But
hey.
I don't care. Wait, let me rephrase that. If Canada plays Portugal in the final and Portugal wins, I'll suck your dick.
Hey, I'm celebrating either way.
Yeah, fuck you.
Yeah,
Anyway.
but it's one of these things where maybe some things are going to change. We'll see. I do
Hey,
think
shout
that
out to Eric, man. He's just been a father like a week ago or a few days ago. I don't even know.
it is exhausting.
Let's go a
I've done
little
it.
baby
I've done
boy.
it more than once. It's fun. It's chaos, organized chaos. It's the best thing you'll ever do in life, man. Like Luigi, he knows. He has like 5 kids out there that he doesn't know. He
Yeah, I've
doesn't
only
know
got
them.
one, man.
He doesn't know. He doesn't know.
I don't say that, bro. People gotta believe you now.
Yeah,
Man. Like, don't say that.
We're starting getting all these DMs. Papa, have I found you?
Daddy.
Papa, mommy said you left.
I've only got one person that calls me daddy.
Oh, hey, ho, ho.
Hey,
Hey. All right, guys, we are getting way off line.
11 o'clock, man.
Canada. I'm gonna tickets go on sale March 10th. Canada versus Jamaica. They had a bobsled team supposedly, but we don't care about that. We are out to get a perfect streak and go undefeated heading into the World Cup. That is a pretty cool kind of situation. So I am actually quite excited for that. So I'm gonna get tickets. Anyone that's go to Eric's in Toronto. Is Eric Toronto or Quebec? I can't remember.
Quebec, I believe.
No, he's not Francis.
Did you know?
Quebecer, Kevin from Quebecer, he's coming down. So Eric, catch a train ride with him.
He's got a newborn, bro. Like,
What can I? Just
brother,
bring the baby.
like,
Bring the baby. Man.
I don't know how this works, but
Bring-
I feel
bring the
like
baby.
as soon as you have a kid for the first like 4 years, you're a fucking nun. You can't go anywhere. You literally stay in the church.
Hell, there we go. He's
Burlington.
the Steel City. There we go. Burlington. Oh, there we go. He's right around the corner, man. He better be going to the game.
He's around the corner.
He's around the
Well,
corner.
it was a few weeks ago. Hey.
Hey, whoa, hey. Seems like half of
Alright.
Canada's Portuguese. Yeah, we are. There's a lot of Portuguese. Did you know? Fun
You
fact:
should come to the UK.
Ontario, which is the biggest province in Canada, so there's like 33 million people, but like 1/3 of all the population's in my province. Years back, Portuguese was the 4th most spoken language in this province.
What is it now?
I don't know where the fuck it is. The Chinese,
Slacking.
Indians,
Come on, man.
everyone
Stop
took it
making
over, man.
babies.
That shit took it over, man. But it used to be like
Fucking
quite a bit
babies.
back in the day, man. I loved it. They've all taken over, man. They've all taken over.
Insulted.
He's insulted. I love it. Okay, guys, thank you so much for tuning. As always, it's always fun shooting the show with you guys. We'll get through this season and look for better and brighter futures. And in the meantime, Canada, and we'll talk later.
I hope to see you
Peace.
guys on Friday night, Saturday morning, and peace.
Peace.
Peace.